What I'll be talking about today is how heavy metal does not increase the risk of suicide or violence. I personally believe that it doesn't cause these issues because people enjoy this music, and if you're listening to music that you enjoy, it's going to make you happy or have a positive effect. And my slideshow is just about that. The reasons I have are it makes people happy, and violence is not the cause from this type of music. And many life factors need to be taken into account because it's mainly assumptions that are made based off of stereotypes. My first slide is about suicide in music. The three people that I have listed, they are from the heavier genre of metal, as well as more mellowed out kinds. The background of the benefits of music are it helps process anger and it makes people happy. It's an outlet that many people use, especially for processing their anger, because of the heavier aspects of the music, the lyrics, the way people express their music, and how it's just something that honestly helps with putting emotions out there that people can relate to. And a lot of people don't understand that because of how the music is put out. It's heavier, it's a lot for some people, and that's okay that some people don't enjoy it. But the people that do listen to it, they definitely do benefit from it. And a lot of history concerning heavy metal, you hear things about how it, during the time in the 1980s, the risk of suicide was higher when this genre was more popular. But many other things need to be taken into account. You know, what was happening during that time period, how the effects of life are treating somebody, and could this just be an outlet that people relate to? Enjoying metal does not cause negative emotions. It's been found in research that there is no link between it. You can't blame a music genre for suicide because at the end of the day, it's a worldwide issue, regardless of the type of music that is listened to. And a lot of people use the stereotypes against metal to justify their reasoning that it does cause these issues. There is no proof that metal makes people violent. The stereotypes that are used against it for this reason is the anger that is expressed in the songs, the heaviness. A lot of people find aggressive, which can be understandable if you don't enjoy this type of music. The other thing I'm going to address is a lot of people relate Satanism with heavy metal. And this is because the rise of the satanic panic in the 80s was very widespread because a lot of people wanted to put a bad name on metal, or they thought that that's what was supposed to happen because of the lyrics and what was said, while there are many darker genres of metal that may very well cause negative aspects on life, you can't really still blame them for putting out music that is enjoyed by many people. And you have to think about how the people that did these awful things, such as torturing children, burning churches down, at the end of the day, that's their own problem and their own mental health issue. A lot of people think that the violence in songs are going to be put in a person's head and cause them to have the same problems. But many artists use their music as an outlet for their anger and for their sadness. And these stereotypes that are put on metal because of, again, the violence, the aggressiveness, the just different type of music that a lot of people aren't used to. People don't understand that it helps people work through anger, and that it's very therapeutic for people that do enjoy this type of music to have it as an outlet for their anger. A lot of people don't take life factors into account before they judge a type of music genre. Preferences in music are controversial because there are many, and many people enjoy different types. Many people might like classical music as well as metal. So you have to take those factors into account, that it's not just one genre that most people listen to. The life factors you would want to take into account before making this sort of assumption would be a person's background. If they were neglected as a child, if they were abused, if they had poor relationships. And that's the easiest way to understand that music can't be the sole blame for violence or suicide, because many people have issues that aren't dealt with, and so they turn to music to help release those, but that's not always going to be enough, and a lot of people don't understand that. And blaming groups of music because they're outside the norms of music, it's not fair, and it causes a lot of issues, and it can actually make matters worse for people who listen to the music for outlet purposes, because people are judging them, and it's very disheartening, and it's very stressful, just because somebody enjoys a type of music that others wouldn't. To conclude this, again, happiness found in music, regardless of the genre, it's good for people. If somebody enjoys metal, let them enjoy metal, because it makes them happy. It doesn't make people violent. There's no full proof of that, although it can seem that way because of how the music is put out. And life factors need to be taken into account, because research that has been done trying to prove that metal causes suicidal thoughts and violence, they don't take into account the person's history, if they had a rough childhood, if they've gone through anything traumatic. And that's a main thing that needs to be looked into, because mental health is no joke, and trying to blame it on a music group is just, it's not fair. Then I have my works cited in here, and just one other thing I'd like to say is that without different types of music, like metal for instance, a lot of people wouldn't be able to express their emotions through it. And it brings people together. Concerts are a big thing for that. And everybody has fun, makes friends. And a lot of the concerts that I personally have been to are heavy metal concerts. And everybody is so genuine and so nice. And they're very helpful. And a lot of artists are as well. When other performers would just let people get hurt or have medical problems, they stop the show and they help. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, that people who produce heavy metal, they're very kind people. And these stereotypes against them are just wrong. And I just believe that heavy metal is not to blame for violence or suicide.